Oh, that music is wonderful. Jimbo Fisher, let's start there. Obviously fired because the program is, quote, stuck in neutral. This will cost A&M upwards of $75 million. Names like Dan Lanning and Dabo Sweeney popping up. Who'd be a great fit to replace him? And $75 million. Jesus.
Before I tell you an option, do you know what happened Saturday before he got let go? Texas A&M did an on-field presentation of a $160 million gift to the football program from the 12th Man Foundation. They put it up on the scoreboard. You could see in real time Jimbo's soul leave his body. You do the math, 75's the buyout, 95 is going to be the new hire.
Right.
They literally killed a man live with a Publishers Clearinghouse check. Only in Texas, man. Oh, and they also cite high oil prices as why the donors are this willing to do it. Now, who's a good name? I'm not getting into this hillbilly heaven list that these A&M people do. They're ridiculous. They think they could hire Belichick. Do you know who I'd hire if I were A&M? Lane Kiffin. Perfect villain for the program. Offensive-minded. Demon of a recruiter. Has had success with NIL at Ole Miss, which Jimbo didn't know how to spend his money. What is A&M's problem? Archaic schemes and just this very behind-the-curve offense. That's why they forced him to bring in Bobby Petrino. I think Lane Kiffin makes a hell of a lot of sense. It's realistic, it's conference familiarity, it's a villainous character, and he will light up Kyle Field. I think that's what they want.
This one actually just popped up on David's Twitter right before we started, so I'll throw it over to him for this one.
Oh, this one's good, and it involves Twitter. Are you familiar with one Jamie Chadwell?
Yes, Liberty head coach, former Coastal Carolina head coach, and a shoo-in to be a member of Greater Life Church if he lived here.
Well, we'll see about that because he may be living somewhere else soon. Liberty Sports Network tweeted out there's an event that Liberty football is having on Wednesday. Jamie Chadwell tweeted out, see everyone on Wednesday. One problem. His location service was still on his tweet, and it says Starkville, Mississippi. Do you know Starkville, Mississippi is the home of Mississippi State University, where they just fired their coach? Jamie Chadwell may not be seeing everyone on Wednesday.
I'll see myself out.
That's unbelievable.
Hold on. Better story. Publishers Clearinghouse assassination of Jimbo or Jamie Chadwell saying, I'll see y'all Wednesday. One problem, you're in Stark Vegas, where Mississippi State just fired Zach Arnett. Oh, man. You just love to see it. Look, it makes sense. I mean, I think Chadwell's a guy. Look, I mentioned him as a loose, out-of-the-box, intergalactic candidate for state, but I told you, I don't think that whole super religious thing works up here. It's not a personal religious thing. He literally, thinks he's Jesus. I don't know if it's going to work outside of the Deep South. Mississippi State might be a decent place for him. Now, if I'm Chadwell, I'm holding out for a better job. I think Mississippi State is a death sentence. Mississippi State is Rutgers. Rutgers is Mississippi State. You're in the SEC West, man. And
would you hold out for Mississippi if Lane then leaves to go to Texas A&M?
I just hold out for the carousel to start. But if Mississippi State is desperate, let's be fair to Mississippi State. Their coach died. If they're willing to back up a Brinks truck, NIL, give you the keys to the castle, it is an SEC program, and you have to listen. But again, I have nothing against Mississippi State. I just think it is such a hard job. You're not only battling Ole Miss in state, look at what's in your division. I mean, it makes Michigan State look like a cakewalk, and we're in the Big Ten East. I think Ole Miss is Michigan State, and I think Rutgers is Mississippi State. Which job would you rather have?
So Penn State also firing their OC. How much more rope? Not even rope, but will James Franklin ever get another top 5 win again? Because he just keeps losing to top 5 teams left and right.
Well, right now, Sharon Moore's got more top 10 victories than James Franklin does. I mean, every year he goes 10-2, and he's going to lose to Ohio State and Michigan. I don't know how Penn State keeps on keeping on with this guy. I think he's a total fraud. You're asking me? I'd be finding the literature in his contract of what it would take to get out.
I mean, the moment you start seeing coordinators go, the next step is usually the gun being pointed at the head coach.
Yeah, exactly.
But he keeps avoiding it somehow.
I know.
The new betting favorite to win the Heisman is now Bo Nix, passing Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels, and Marvin Harrison Jr. What does your Heisman board, does it look anything close to that?
3 weeks ago, on the board, I handed out Bo Nix plus 1,800 to win the Heisman. Bo Nix is number 1 on my board. Penix would be 2. Marvin Harrison would be 3. The only reason Brock Bowers didn't make it is because Brock got hurt. It's not his fault. It's just reality. I think Bo Nix is your Heisman contender. I mean, he's a guy completing damn near 70% of the passes. He's got 3,500 yards. He scores with his feet, with his arm, 40 touchdowns, like 4 picks. And he's on what I think is a playoff team. So, yeah, Bo Nix to me is the Heisman winner right now.
As much as it pains me to say this, Alabama continues to win big games and turn their season around. How big of a threat are they actually in the SEC to Georgia?
Kenny, be honest with me. It's just you and I talking.
You be honest with me, because I don't want to be honest with you.
No one's listening. It's just you and I.
All right.
My concern is growing about your game versus them.
Yep.
It was a shoo-in for me about 3 weeks ago. Now, you force me to pick the game, I'll still take Georgia, but it's a lot closer.
If you had to handicap it, though, what would the spread be?
Georgia minus 2.5.
Yeah, that's right about right.
Bama's putting it together now. And Milroe is dangerous because he's getting better and better and better and better. And what they did to Kentucky, look, Kentucky plays a ton of zone. They keep everything in front of them. He still found ways without their best receiver. Take a few deep shots. He's killing people running the football. Zombie Bama. I'm concerned.
And that's kind of where I wanted to go with the next question is the winner of the CFP coming out of the SEC? If that's the case. You're going to see Georgia, you're going to see Bama.
I'll go chalk. I'll go chalk and say right. Yes. I will.
So if Georgia wins, you're saying they three-peat?
Yes. I can't pick Florida State. I can't pick Oregon. I can't pick Michigan. I can't pick Ohio State because I don't think Ohio State will be there. Washington's a fraud. Where am I finding these teams? I just believe in the SEC, it just means more.
And we can close on
I wish dental care did.
All right. Just unnecessary shot. We'll finish on your favorite school. Reports coming out that there's a 90% chance Quinn Ewers returns to Texas, making millions of dollars and avoiding this upcoming draft class of quarterbacks, which is going to be really, really nice. Is that the right move for the kid?
Yes. Getting injured kind of stopped the momentum he was building. After that night in Tuscaloosa, he had become a fringy first-round pick. He got hurt, and I'll be honest, Sarkisian hasn't done him any favors here. A couple of these games, they don't let Quinn throw the ball in the second half. And the games get close, and the quarterback gets blamed. It's probably best to come back to school. And here's the other thing it tells you. Arch Manning is nowhere near ready. I kept saying it, and Rico kept fighting me on it. I go, the dude looks like a prepubescent teen. He played in a small high school, that Carson Newman High or whatever it is in New Orleans. His body ain't ready. He's a stick figure.
And does that mean next year Texas will be back, or is there going to be a different team?
No, I mean, listen, let's be fair. If they go 11-1, win the Big 12, but get left out of the playoff, and their big win was in Tuscaloosa by double digits, they're back, right?
Yeah,
is that fair?
So. I'd say so.
But
and that is
do I think they're a playoff team? No, because I think Steve Sarkisian's on crack. I think Sark is losing his mind in the second half of these games. I have to downgrade them.
And that is your college football blitz.